So let me explain the purpose of my session, what I'm planning to do. We've been doing energy work and we've been doing muscle strengthening work. I feel that I would like to do a few consecutive sessions of energy work, because what I'm trying to do is the body knows, okay, we've got the ulnar nerve, and boom, at this point, we've got an injury. It can be a contusion, it can be nerve stretching, it can be all various things that have happened to the nerve from the operation and from the actual time of the injury. Now, from this point here, it's patchy sensation, but from this point here, you've got diminished sensation all the way up to the fingertips. So that what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be shifting the energy and the electricity of the nerve and the activity of the nerve down. From this point, we're going down into the fingers, okay? I'm also going to be giving the nerve very specific information about the meridians, and exactly we're going to be doing some nice work kind of at the fingertips. I'm going to do all the fingers, by the way. We're also going to be giving some feedback in the web space. We're going to be using 2 crystals, one with a point and one that's blunt. And I'm going to be using 2 tuning forks, 111, plus a non-weighted tuning fork, because this is the one that's got the sound that the body resonates with. And we're going to use the Spectrochrome laser. So those are the tools. So the first thing I want to do is get a sense. Oh, and at the end, we're going to do the salt bath, but I'm going to move that away. Let's not forget. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is find the edge of your magnetic field. And I'm going to slowly introduce the vibration. So I'm coming in, and this is the edge. So the edge feels like a wall.
I can feel it in my thumb.
Can feel it in the thumb, okay? So we're being very gentle.
Yes, no. When you come in like that, I still have, it's actually interesting with the web. I can see, especially when I use my hands in comparison, I can see so much more. Like what I've seen is, like when I press here with this finger, this kind of goes back a little bit.
Okay.
And then I can go straight. And this one doesn't want to go back. I have to actively do that. And then this doesn't want to go straight. It stays straight. I mean, there's so many little things.
Little things.
I don't know the anatomy well enough anymore to tell you exactly which muscle it is. But I can just absolutely see the difference in the function.
Oh, good.
Which is, the web is really, I love the web for that, because it's not just doing some exercises, it is watching the fingers. What is their
work in the direction,
what is their own life, and what do they do? And I mean, like, this is a big issue,
getting that web space,
getting that. This is definitely better.
So okay, so let's go back to the nerve. That feeling. Tips.
It's a bit dull.
Dull there. What did you say? Even just like
there it's a bit better. There it's a bit better. At the moment, it feels up to here.
So we've actually gained about that much. What might happen, because this is information, your cells are going to process for 3 days.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not a once-off thingy.
But that over the next 3 days, it's still going to be processing all this information. We did a lot today. Tonight, please have a salt bath. We did so much. So it's about just keep giving it the information. We keep giving it the information. We keep giving it the information. And then what we're doing is we're connecting the brain as well with the end of the nerve to your fingertips along its path.
I feel this very strongly. There's like one point inside. And you started when you were working with a fork.
Okay.
It's like inside there, which wasn't there before. And that is, it's now kind of quite strong again.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I think over the next few hours, while your body and your cells process this information, you might find that little patches of sensation and pockets of sensation pitch up and arrive and show up is the word. And then hopefully what we can do is we can start to just bring this all in, everything from here into the hands. So we're just bringing it across into those tips. And then that's going to translate to the muscle function.
Sure, if the nerve
is
is better than the
muscles will work. So for me, it makes more sense to do this work than to focus on the muscles in this time.
Yeah,
Whereas at home, you can focus on the muscles.
I can do the muscles
Yeah.
at home. And no, absolutely. That's
okay. So as a skeptic,
no, it's as I said,
interesting feeling.
In the beginning, I was a bit overwhelmed, and as I said, we have a distant relative, and she used to run through the whole house whenever she was visiting. She lives in Germany, and she's so weird, and she ran around with her pendulum everywhere, and she drove the whole family mad. The whole family was like, "Please no pendulum, please no pendulum."
It's the thing when I brought out a pendulum, like she's just been bonkers.
Yes, because this woman is really a bit of a nightmare, and she's quite annoying in other aspects as well. So it all came together. You know? So then you start associating pendulums with. I don't have other experience with pendulum, just that one. And for all of us, it's like pendulum. It's this woman, and it's oh no, please.
It's so valuable to know, right? Because you're bringing in your outside experience, but this is such a different purpose of this pendulum, because this particular one is telling me about the nerve function, inflammation as well, and whether there's something going on with the tendons and the muscles. So that's why I like it, to distinguish. But also what's so fascinating about it, how it picked up exactly the points where
and as I say, I had my eyes closed most of the time, so I wasn't looking where you were with the pendulum. I just told you what I could feel, and the one time, so then when I opened my eyes in that moment, you were right here where on the side of the injury. You know?
And you could actually feel it.
I could feel it before, and then I could feel it. Then I opened my eyes and saw that's where you were.
So what's great is with your eyes being closed, we're creating this brain-hand connection as well, and we're just creating new connections. We're firing up the nerve in new ways.
And that's something that I've learned over the last year specifically. I mean, because when you get older, you start going, probably a lot of people go more into introspection, what have you. I do a lot with eyes closed, like even when I do yoga, I have my eyes closed a lot of the time. And also when I write, okay, obviously I can't really close my eyes properly, but I try to not focus sometimes in certain moments to get more of the feel, because your eyes are so strong in humans. I mean, it's overrides, our eyes override a lot.
Exactly. So when we started the session and we went through the breathing, that got you into your own spirit as well. And that's so powerful, because there was the wall of your field. And as we worked, so the tuning fork came in. And then I was shifting the energy with your breath. But you can use that. So I want you to practice that breathing exercise that we did today. And when you visualize, I want you shifting, I want you taking energy out, and I want you replenishing energy. We'll shift to going in different planes and dimensions as well. But for now, that's what I want you to do, is release and replenish. And I want you to visualize when you're doing it, that nerve path. So coming down the arm, nerve path, and connecting along the fingertips. But it's interesting. So you found that like helpful. Hey? At the beginning, it got you into that spirit mode.
Yeah, it's always, I mean, as I said, also that is something, when I first started to learn about breathing, I mean, antenatal classes, I left them when they started breathing, and then I had a series, I never needed it. And then I had one riding instructor, she works a lot with breathing, and I could never get into her rhythm, the rhythm of breathing she wanted me to do. I just couldn't. It was always, and I still often have the problem when people tell me to exhale, I want to inhale. It just doesn't work for me what people tell me to do.
You want to do it.
But it got a lot better lately, that I can consciously breathe, and that I can control my breathing, because I've also, I mean, with the riding, okay, really horses are fantastic teachers in a lot of aspects, and horses react to your breathing. You can calm down a horse if you if you have a tense situation and you control your breathing, or you breathe deep in, your horse will react to that.
Amazing.
They are amazing. I mean, the one guy I work with who does, he said the horses can hear a human heartbeat from about 100 meters.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
if your heart's racing.
Exactly, that's what I always think of now, that since he told me that, like when I get tense, because then obviously, even if it's like this morning, I wanted to do something with my mare, and she had an op and I needed to put an ice pack on her head on the operation side. And then she suddenly ditched away. And because I had my hand on her neck and I had to hold the thing there, and then I nearly fell because there was a tire there. And so then obviously adrenaline came in that moment because I didn't want to fall and I couldn't look down. And then I got a bit tense, and I thought, well, if I get tense now, she's going to get tense, and I'm going to have the whole reaction again, and she's going to want to pull away, and I don't need that. I just kind of consciously took a deep breath, and she stayed with me. I think it's okay.
That's phenomenal.
Horses are.
They are.
The more you go into that, I mean, there are books, and he just sent me a video last night. This guy, he just worked with some of my horses. A lot of the stuff I heard and knew before, but it's one thing doing it and seeing it, and one thing reading about it. You need to, and it takes a while because it's almost like different. It's like for you, normally as an OT, you work with the muscles and so on. Just let go of that and say you go to the other area.
Yeah.
And you trust that will do the job.
Huge.
Is a huge shift, and that is a bit the same because you're supposed to
touch and massage and
or not with the horse. It's like you're supposed to like basically ride it, kind of in a way, get on it, control it, domineer it, and now to combine that with those other methods and see what they do. It's actually quite an interesting journey.
Yeah. It is. It's a philosophy as well, I found. So when I shifted with my stiff handwork, I had a new philosophy and I couldn't go back. And I said to my mentor yesterday, I don't know how I just put tape on a hand. I don't know how I just dived in without doing this groundwork first. It's almost now I take it for granted already. And I remind myself that patients aren't aware, other therapists aren't aware, the whole world isn't aware. So, but now that I know about it and I use it, I can't imagine not working with it and not using it. And I think that we forget that we are energetic beings. The horses are energetic. If a horse is feeling a heartbeat, that's a frequency. Their hearing is 7 times more acute much more than, because I think a dog is 7, but I don't know about a horse. But so that's a frequency of a heartbeat. Now, our hearts can be felt 5 meters away in our field. So if they're hearing a frequency. So then if that's a horse, and that's what I love, because animals don't lie. Horses don't lie, right? So then why is it that we think we're more intelligent than ourselves in our body? And why is it then, why would one be skeptical about using a frequency and a resonance?
No, I would never. I just really had all the rest makes sense to me because that is physics. That's physics.
It's physics.
It's physics. That's very basic.
It's totally physics-based medicine. 100%. It's physics. But there are a lot of people that can't understand this kind of work. Why would it be any different? Why would our cells these cells have been around for thousands of years, let's say 5,000 years.
Now, also, do you know that book with our cells keep the memory? And
our cells keep memory and generational memory. So from one generation to the next, so your mothers, your grandmothers, the whole maternal line, all that they went through is actually in your cells. So it's fascinating to me that we can bring this coherence in and calm the body down, and then it does what we want it to do. It dances with us.
And it's very difficult, I think, because our life is at least no more. I mean, it's sorts of, so I don't want to keep you, but I've just been through somehow quite a bad time and turbulent time. And I could feel it. And when I got sick this week, I was like with that, how do you pronounce this?
The diverticulitis.
Okay, German, because the diverticulitis, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. So I was also thinking, was it also psychologically? But I mean, it was a very pointed.
In the plexus.
It was a very pointed spot. It was really one spot. I could feel it myself. I actually went to the because I've got diverticulitis. That's right. Diverticulitis, and he just laughed at me, and then he examined me, and he said, "It's just it's always nice as your patients come in and tell you what's wrong with them." But I also thought that because that's also, I still think everything that's abdominal is often at least has an overlap with psychology. And
100%.
and a lot of things have just come together, and so you need this energy is just it's
huge. So what I would suggest next session, let's do the full body, feel it, experience it. So I can do a full body tuning with you, and we can take that energy out your abdomen. We can shift it all, and then we come to the hand at the end. Because it's super powerful. Because if you said, the first thing you said to me when you walked in was that you went on an antibiotic and it made the nerve pain worse.
Yes, it was honestly amazing because I started it Monday evening.
Yeah.
And Tuesday morning I could suddenly, the hand was different to what it was, clearly different.
Clearly different. So let's shift the whole thing out your abdomen. Let's work with that. In an hour session, because we need that time. We need to just work with that energy. Let's move it out and see how you feel afterwards. And let's see, once we've worked on that, what it does to the nerve. If injury, diverticulitis, antibiotics can impact your nerve, imagine we take that energy and we shift it out, what it will do for the nerve.
We can try them.